Hello, everybody, and welcome. Hayden's got his biggest fan. Sorry, it's just if you're listening to this, Hayden's sitting there with a fan on.
God, it is so hot, so hot.
This is how stupid we are. Okay, we are recording 2 podcasts tonight on the hottest day of the year. That's how dedicated we are to you. So, actually, for that, I think you should subscribe to this channel and leave a positive review. Say those guys are hardcore. I really appreciate them recording this on the hottest day of the year. Thanks, guys. We love you. Put that, copy paste it, get ChatGPT to write one, and put it on Apple in the positive, because there's a lot of shit ones on there, and we need to sort of balance the books a little bit. All right, all right. In this episode, our uniquely titled podcast is called "Things I Wish I Knew Before I Started Running." I thought this would actually be quite light-hearted look at it. Let's say we're not going to go too deep here. I just thought it'd be a bit of fun actually. Before we do a marathon talk special, half marathon talk special, or one of our uncensored ones. I thought it'd be a bit of a light-hearted look into this. So yeah, we'll crack on with that in a second. Because talking about half marathons, I saw something today. Now this probably actually should go in our uncensored show. And if you don't know what that is, that's basically where Hayden slags everybody off.
Not true.
The best part of an hour. We pick a really good topic, and he just slags everybody off for an hour. All right. But Hayden, I saw this. Yeah, like you, I get stuff on my feed. I hold it up to the camera. It doesn't come through anyway. But I don't know about. Right. So I'm just going to say what this is. It says, and I'm not going to name the people, but it's a post. It says, "What's a good half marathon time?" Then it gives you all the times. So it says finish it, big win for first timers and comeback runners, sub 2:30, solid goal for newer runners, sub 2, big milestone for everyday runners, sub 1:45, you're racing, not just finishing, sub 1:30, strong amateur performance, sub 1:20, serious runner territory. What I want to know is what makes a serious runner for 1:20 versus a serious runner going for 2:30. Why are they not serious at sub two? Or am I taking it too far?
No, I've seen exactly the same post, but I've seen it in the context of a marathon. And it's along the same sort of lines, although they get to maybe their boundaries are slightly different. But yeah, it's the same sort of thing. And who on earth can be out there and demonstrate them barriers? Who's thought up that, do you know what, let's go for that time. Let's go for this time. It's just absolutely rubbish. It's just clickbait.
Yeah, exactly. It's clickbait. But it does, because you do see this more and more, these posts about, this and that. And the problem is that people actually look at that and go, oh, I'm shit. Or, you know what I mean? It's another thing to hit you over the head with when everything's not going well. I see no upside in those sort of posts. I might be totally up the garden path. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
The one upside is if you're in that category, that's sub 1:20, that's sub 1:30, it's a bit of a boost to you. You look and you think, oh, bloody hell, look, I'm a serious runner. And I think that's just the boost for them people. But as you said, it's a boost for them, but it's the kick for everyone else behind them. So it's not particularly nice, is it? It's just,
I don't know. That sort of stuff, it just infuriates me. And again, that's not to pick apart anybody. Like, I'm more down towards the end. I mean, I'm 1:30, for argument's sake, yeah? So I'm towards that other end of that scale. But I don't look at that and go, well, I'm a hero. I look at that post and think, what prick wrote that? Do you know what I mean? It's like, but surely that should just be reported. I don't know.
Reported for what? It's just their opinion.
Get on my nerves. It's getting on my nerves.
The heat's getting to you, bro. The heat's getting to you.
It's been an uncensored-ish version of the show. Anyway, lightning start to this, what was going to be an upbeat and mildly amusing show. Anyway, let me know in the comments after you've written us a really nice review.
Are you a serious runner or not?
Yeah, are you a serious runner or not? Time. And what do you think about that? If you don't like it, go find the post and hammer them for putting it out. Please. No, don't. It is true, though. All this is, and actually, right, it does lead into things I wish I knew before I started running. One of the things I wish I knew before I started running was absolutely no point taking any notice of the shit that is put on social media. Right? I think we live in a world that's dominated by this.
100%.
Platforms, whatever. Don't get me wrong. I consume it. I generate it. But when I started out running, show me age, that wasn't really a thing. Okay. But I think I was guilty early doors of letting that stuff sometimes dictate what was going on. And I think that's a key one to start with, actually. Nice, like bridge into that, actually. I think that almost like you've got to ignore it to a degree, like the social media side of things. Follow people if you want to, but follow people who genuinely like are interesting to you, not just these helmets who are making shit up just so they can sell stuff. Yeah. Again, I include myself in this. Yeah, I've been guilty as anybody on this, right? And actually, that does follow on, Hayden. We are recording an interesting pod about this sort of stuff, aren't we? About influencers.
Yeah, absolutely, and how it's changed. Definitely, yeah.
That'll be a really good episode. We're going to record that, so watch out for that. But I think social media, as always, benefits, upside, downsides. But I would say, in terms of things I wish I knew before I started running, because that's the staying point, is literally to take pay no attention to the absolute, because I'm on the other side of it. I know what's bollocks and what ain't, because I can see straight through it. And I would wish when I started running, I had that insight. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. Is that relevant to running, or is that relevant to? This is the problem. Is that relevant to absolutely everything you're doing?
Well, no, all right, okay. Do you think social media in elements has a negative impact on a lot of people's running?
Oh, 100%. Oh, without that.
There you go.
But as you said, we can defend it, can't we? Say, as well as it's got a positive. People see people, they're inspired by them. People learn things. The amount of stuff you've put out there to giving people tips and instructions, and people have learned stuff. There's that massive upside to it as well. So, as ever, with everything we do, there's always that balanced argument. But
there just seems to be more BS out there now than even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I think people back, again, this is great for what we're going to talk about, but back then it was like 5 years ago, people were more genuine.
There wasn't as much to sell. There wasn't as much to sell.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's shut. Brands, it ain't afraid of it. But anyway, let's leave that for another podcast. Okay, so let's move on. I think you're going to like the first one that I wrote down. Okay. Now, I haven't used, like other running podcasts, used AI to generate these results, which I think you'll realize when I read you this next thing that I thought about. Things I wish I knew before I started running. To wear half tights and give no fucks about what I look like.
I can't see AI.
Do you think ChatGPT came up with that for the other running podcast?
No, I don't.
It's genuine. It's transparent. It's authentic. It's true though. I wish, like, going back, like all those years ago, like not being so self-conscious about what I was wearing, what I looked like, and do you know what I mean? Because my weight was like whatever. And I would wear stuff and do stuff because I was so conscious of what I looked like, sounded like, all that sort of stuff. But actually, on reflection, sitting here, 8, 9, 10 years down the road, really, I didn't need to kill for it. I think,
but you might, and you might not know now going forward. I'll ask you a question about that. So when you look at a post of you now, say doing London Marathon in 2018, do you look at it now and do you cringe a little bit, or do you think now, good, I'll rock that, I couldn't care less? Or do you see what I mean? Look at the time, you obviously cared about what people thought, you just admitted that. Do you look back now and think, oh God, wish
because I have that element of my personality. I've got rejection syndrome. Yeah, it's part of my neurodivergent brain. That's clinical. So that is a massive part of my personality. But that's what I'm saying to you. What I would say to myself that when I started this running thing is literally 40 along this journey. Just give no what you look like. Like, honestly, half tights. I use half tights for some because for me they're a game changer. I don't like shorts because I don't like the fit. Again, I'm an autistic person. Clothing's a real issue for me. I have to have certain things fit and feel a certain way. Right? It's nuts, but that's just the way I am. And shorts were, mate, 5, 6 years ago, I find the right shorts was a real problem for me. Yeah. How do you carry your phone? You have to wear a flip belt, a belt, an arm thing. It's just like, Jesus Christ. And then someone went to me, why do you wear half tights? I was like, what? What's this? Yeah, but I'll look like an absolute twat. Who cares what you look like? Bing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that comes
and now I'm happy to run along an embankment with no top on. Because I'm too hot. Because I get like big rash on my chest, like a big rash because of the skin condition, huge rash. So if I'm really hot, I won't wear a top. I haven't got the body to wear a top, you could argue, but it's like some woman hammered me on Instagram for saying that, right? For posting a picture with me without any top. She turned around and said, "Oh, another man without a top, blah, 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 blah," right? I didn't react. I thought, that's a bit strong, love. You can't actually say that. Like, if I made a comment about the way you looked, how much trouble would I get into on social media? Why is that fair?
No.
Yeah, and she was bang out of order. She actually tagged someone. She was bang out of order. But I didn't react. I could have done. But what's the point of getting into it?
No.
So, again, it's taking that away. But my point, again, going back to the point of the podcast, things I wish I knew before I started running, was literally, and I think it's true because the reason I thought this when I did this list, I saw a TikTok today with a guy similar like me, dad, you know, whatever, 40 something, out there running. He said, "This is the first time I've ever run without a top on." So I don't know why I didn't do this years ago. Just me down these paths. I feel so subconscious about what my wife's going to hammer me. Blah, 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 blah. He said, "But I'm so bloody hot, like it's unbearable." And he's there for reasons. And he said, "You know what? But my wife loves me, my kids love me, so why am I bothered about it?" Again, don't be so subconscious when you start running. What you look like, because I think that's a lot of people. They start running because they want to lose weight or whatever. Yeah, and you're conscious of what you look like.
I think mine was more. When I look back at pictures now, it wasn't so much. I don't think I was conscious of what I looked like. Maybe I tried to overdo it. I look back now and I had everything. I had like the strap with the phone on the chest. When you look back now and you think, same thing. I wish I knew back then that. Why was I doing that? Why do I have to wear a whole thing over my vest just to keep my phone in? I at the same time, I think I had a belt. I just had everything. The base layer. I always wore like leggings underneath shorts. And I just, as you said, you just didn't know. You just get into it, you jump into running, you think, let's give it a go. I went to a shop, saw, you need this, you need that, you need this, you get everything. Yeah. Look back now, I wish I knew, like you said.
Yeah. Okay, next one. We better scoot through these. Already done 10 minutes on having a go at everyone. Don't rush running in general. I think that's one thing I would say. I think I was guilty of rushing everything. Go and sign up for this, sign up for that, sign up for this, sign up for that. Got to do a race, got to do this, got to do that. Like a battery chicken. You know? Do you know what I mean?
I'm still guilty of it, mate. Listen, hand up. I'll admit, I am still guilty of it. Couldn't wait to get the majors done. Couldn't wait to get the super halves done. Can't wait to go and do Sydney. Can't wait looking for Cape Town. I'm always looking for the next thing. It's in my personality. It's just what I want to do.
I would temper some of that because I think that comes down to the love of the sport and the pastime. I think that's fine. I just think there is something in me that says you don't need to rush. And I'm not just talking sign up for race. I'm talking about training.
Oh yeah,
distance. Yeah. You know, all that sort of stuff, like signing up for marathons and rushing into marathons. Why did I rush into a marathon? Well, because someone said to me, "FORDY, you should do a marathon once in your life." So do I did off again. So you know what I mean? It's like that side of things, but then you rush. So I would say the opposite. I would say slow down and enjoy each one, each thing that you're doing, whatever it is.
Enjoy the progress. As you said, once you rush it, you rush that progress too quick and it's gone in a second. And then you're getting to a point where you're not moving forward as much. And you're like, oh, what's wrong with this? Whereas if you said, like, slow it down, take it easy, you'll see that progression over a longer period of time. And it's good for you as well. Much better for you. Definitely.
This one I thought of on my run today. Again, AI came up with this. I was running along and I was like dripping of sweat. And then I just pulled out this lovely thing that was tied to my wrist. I undid it, wiped my brow. Very sexy. Remember, I got no top on. All the Saga ladies went wild. And then I did that. And then I thought to myself, I don't think I had a snood for like 5 years. What a wonderful invention a snood is. So the things I wish I knew before I started was that something called a snood existed. Yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about the little bandagey thing, quite stretchy. You can wear them or as a neck gaiter. You can wear them on your head to stop sweat. Wear them on your wrist to wipe your brow, wipe your nose, wipe your bum, whatever you want to do with it, right? Is there one bit of kit, Hayden, that you wish you knew about when you started running, before you started running, that would make it easy?
That's a good question, isn't it?
Mine's a snood. It's a simple piece of kit, inexpensive, relative, yeah? I've got ones that are like probably should be thrown in the bin. They're like dirty as hell from all the sweat they've soaked up. But it's such a good bit of kit. Simple.
Yeah, I must be. I think mine is. Maybe this goes back to the first point you said about as well, which is something I knew back then as well. I think mine might be sunglasses. You know, I've never. I've been running for 8 years, 9 years.
Yeah.
And up until about a year or so ago, I never run in sunglasses.
No, you didn't. I remember.
Yeah, it just went for me. And then I went away last year.
Yeah,
the run that I was doing every morning, I knew that sun was coming up and it was straight in my face. I just can't cope with this. So I started wearing sunglasses and I actually quite got on with them. I quite liked them. And maybe now I go a few more runs with them on. And yeah, it's definitely a bit of kit that I should have picked up on a long, long time ago.
Well, protect your eyes. I mean, more than anything else, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What about, where do you stand on this one? I was guilty of this. But I wish that I didn't need. I wish I knew that I didn't need to rush out and buy 400 pairs of shoes. And I think today it's more relevant than ever because of the invention of the carbon plated shoe and your £300 super shoes and all this sort of crap. As I always say, as qualified coach out, it's the runner, not the shoes. Okay. Yes, they work in sync. It's an important piece of kit. But it's no more, you know what I mean, than another piece of kit. The amount of money that I wasted early doors on shoes, it's unbelievable. And I would say the same to anybody who's starting on the range. You don't need to be going out and buying like monstrous amount pairs of shoes, carbon plated this, Evo SL that, all that sort of stuff. I appreciate why. It's some of the fun of it, isn't it? But like I just actually the review comes out tomorrow. A pair of shoes called the Adidas Adizero Pacer. It's 85 quid retail, right? That will get discounted down, probably pick up for like 60 quid. It's an unbelievable shoe.
Wow.
Unbelievable. It's got light strike in it. So not light strike pro, but light strike in it. Looks exactly the same as the Evo SL. It's an unbelievable shoe for the money. Okay. You can get 15% off of them anyway at sportshoes.com if you're a 40 rounds affiliate club member. So it brings the price down already from 85 quid. Yeah. What a great shoe to start off in.
Yeah.
You don't need to be spending £250 a pair of Alpha Flies to go and do run walking as you do Couch to 5K.
Well, this is actually quite relevant. So I've just pulled up my phone. It was at 2:32 this afternoon, and my doorbell went. I didn't think I feel the cabinet working. And I got a WhatsApp from my wife, and literally, I'll quickly show you. It says, "Not more trainers. You are joking. You do realise we have to move all this shit to our new house." Because I don't think I've learned, and I keep buying the puggers, and I keep doing it. This literally was this afternoon, and I'm just like, but you are right. It is, and I would go one step.
Stop. What shoes were they?
I got a new pair of the Vomero Plus. They're 99 quid.
The green and black ones.
I did get the green and black. I've got these green ones though. They're really nice.
It's such a good shoe.
They're really nice. Oh yeah, they are. They are. My one's done like nearly 300 miles now. So I'm like, you know what?
Easy. Mine done what was it? 99 quid or less?
No, I think they were for 150. I ended up getting them for 99 quid.
Yeah,
basically.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it's true. But that's
fantastic.
Yeah, but that's not a bad thing to do if you're starting out. Getting a pair like massive. It's where you see people going out and spending 200 quid and they're literally doing Couch to 5K.
Yeah. But you know what I'm frustrated about? Even more than that, and maybe this is sensitive. I'm more frustrated that now, when the Alpha Fly, let's go back, make it easy. Alpha Fly 2, when it first came out, everyone was like, "Wow, it's amazing! Look at this upgrade and that." Now, no one was going run in the Alpha Fly 2. Almost like it's a crap shoe now. Yeah. That isn't the case. This is the frustrating thing. All these shoes are, at the time they come out, the Pegasus, when they very, very first come out, the ones you wore for your first marathon, ones I wore for mine, they're not a crap shoe now. And it's just like you wouldn't wear them again. That's frustrating. That's something that I always think like I need the next best shoe. I need the next best shoe. And that's something that I learned as well since I've been first started running that. You don't, and I don't.
Yeah,
even though I keep buying them.
Well, the next one's going to be again probably a little bit controversial. And this definitely wouldn't appear on any large sponsored podcast. You don't need Runner. You don't need anything like that. You don't need Strava when you're starting out, right? I think Garmin app, like to log your runs in terms of pace and things like that, or the Nike one is more than adequate. Because I think with the other ones, and Runner obviously because of their training plans or whatever, you've got the Couch, the 5K training plan, the HS, that's free, yeah. But you don't need to get sucked into Runner and trying to train for a 5K that's unrealistic, yeah. What you you need to be considerate of these apps when you get started, because you will be comparing yourself massively to other people. And I don't think you need to get sucked into that. And I think that's something that I wish I sort of knew again myself back then. Don't get me wrong, again, Strava's got massive upside to it, but I don't think there's anything that you on Strava that you can't get on a Garmin when you start out running, the Garmin app or like the Polar app, or you know what I mean? It doesn't have that social element where you're doom scrolling. You know, do you know where I'm coming from?
I do, but as you said in the previous podcast, I know
here
this
he
is
goes. Here he goes.
Listen, I'm a Strava lover. I just think if you don't want to
Strava lover.
If you want to benchmark yourself against other people, don't bloody follow them.
He's
just
a
have a
Strava lover.
Don't follow no one. Don't have no one follow you. Strava. That's what you could do with Strava. Don't have no followers and be like you and don't follow anyone. And that way,
he loves Strava.
It's a lot easier. The interface is so much better than Garmin. So much better.
Yeah, but what my point is that on Garmin, you can look at your paces, you can look at your efforts, you can look at your stuff, you can load in the stuff you're going to be doing. You can do the same on the Nike app. And you don't have that element of comparing yourself like to other people. Because I think that's a real like Grand Canyon of doom that you can go into.
And did you do this when you started running?
Yeah, of course I did.
Yeah.
Of course I got straight on Strava and I was going, well, my mate's doing this. Well, I need to go out and do 10K. It happens. You can't help it, especially if you're like you've got a big social group and you start seeing them and you can't help it. And then you get injured because you're a helmet and you then got an app like Runner and started going, yeah, I can do a 5K in 12 minutes because that's what the algo says I can do. You know what I mean? And this is the problem in the current setup of the world that happens. So I would say to myself back then, FORDY, just do yourself one favor, right? While you're getting going, take that pressure away from yourself. Just log your runs and stuff on Garmin and all that sort of stuff, or Nike or Coros, or, you know, the actual, I know there's social elements to those as well. Yeah, I'm not a moron, but I just think that, as I've said before, that's like a cesspit of doom. If you're starting out, it can be a bit nasty. So stay away from that. Couple more things. You will become obsessed with running.
Correct.
I think that's one thing I didn't take into account that much. I was like, yeah, this is going to help me lose weight. This is going to help me with my mental health. Boom, 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 boom. But then it was like just walking onto stage, telling a few jokes, the crowd go wild, and then I'm hooked like the comedians. This is an interesting story. Got nothing to do with it. So, you know, a lot of the comedians out there, they're like massive alcoholics and all this sort of stuff because they are hooked on the feeling that they get from that laughter, from that stage, what they get from there. And then when they come off it, they go massively down. So, and a lot of them, unfortunately, become alcoholics, drug users and all this sort of stuff. I think it's a lot better than it used to be. But back in the day, when there was no help or support around for those guys and girls, obviously, but they all become like that. And that feeling they get hooked on is like running. Now, I'm not saying that we all become drunk addicts when we're not running, but my point is that, you know, if you could bottle that feeling you get when you finish that 4-mile run, that, you know, half marathon or whatever you've done, it'd be unbelievable. But you can't help but get hooked on this drug. And I wish I knew that before I started. I'm not saying it would make it.
How would that change then? So if you did know that before you started, how would that change you? What would you do different? Or would you even start running?
No, I would just go back to what I said earlier and not rush anything. Mm-hmm. Because I think you get obsessed, you rush everything, and then you get injured. You know what I mean? So again, don't rush it. Yeah, you'll be obsessed. You can't help it. But I wish I just wish I knew a little bit that was coming my way. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was kind of thinking when I wrote this list. What about you?
Yeah.
Did you realise when you started running it would be then become your life?
No, because I played sport my whole life and predominantly played football my late life, but it never become my life. I went and played on a Sunday, had a few beers in the pub, come home, talk to mates back during the week occasionally, but that was it. Where with running, you do it more often, it's more consistent. And even when more people around you do it and your social life becomes part of it and your friends become part of it, then it absolutely dominates everything. And would I have known that before I start? I don't know, mate. Yeah, maybe I would, because maybe I would have started earlier. for some people.
True.
There's people out there now that don't
That's
run.
true.
And if they did know it and they knew the enjoyment we've had of it, the buzz we've had it, the friends we've made of it, experiences.
That's true. That's a really
maybe
good way
they'd
of
start
looking at
running.
it. Yeah, no, you know what? Actually, that's a massive positive in a way. Yeah, that's a really, really big positive. Didn't think about it like that. No, fair play. This is a good one. Again, I thought about my run. I would.
Maybe nervous when you start.
No, it's because it's a good one. I wish I knew before I started running that there was a shop called Decathlon, because I wasted so much money buying stuff from Nike, from ASICS, from Sports Direct, and all this stuff, right? Fundamentally was overpriced. It was exactly the same stuff that you can get in Decathlon for like 50, 60, 70% cheaper. You can get a pair of shorts in Decathlon that are perfectly good for £5. I mean, I never knew about Decathlon. And I wish I did, because I would have saved myself a fortune. I wouldn't still be living in this house, because I would have moved into a mansion like Hayden's got, because I'd have had money from all the money I've wasted on the clothes. But it is true, though. Decathlon is an unbelievable place for a runner.
Yeah, I think it's more of a case of knowing what to buy rather than opposed to the Decathlon is a great example of it. Yeah, but it's always knowing that you don't have to buy that Adidas singlet. You don't have to buy, that shorts. You don't all this sort of stuff. The Say Sky stuff. Yeah, it's good. It's fashionable, but you don't have to buy it all. Whereas when you start running, you might think, you know what, that makes you
the
go
Say
faster.
Sky stuff.
I'm
telling you now, is excellent.
It is very good.
And it is a fraction, and I mean fraction of the price of everything.
Yeah.
And it
what
don't stink.
What about Saw?
We could do an uncensored version. Actually, you know what? We should do an uncensored version on running gear. That would make a good podcast, wouldn't it? Hammer everyone. The last one is the things I wish I knew before I started running, is that there would be my own tribe out there. Now, I'm a little bit different because I sort of created my own. But I am sure I could have hunted that out if I wanted to. And I think it's an interesting thing to discuss at the end. And that's one of the brilliant things about the popularity of running at the moment, is that I'm sure there's a tribe out there for you. And I wish I knew that before I started running. And some people want to do it as a solo activity, yeah? Brilliant. But even if you want to be a solo runner, there is still a community out there probably of like-minded people, similar interests, whatever. That's one of the great things about social media. Mm-hmm. I refer to, the old classic Facebook or whatever community you have to pay for to get onto an app, but there is free communities out there as well. But they offer something that might work for you. Yeah. That might be that support network. That might be that one thing that helps you along your running journey. Right. And I wish I knew that before I started. Obviously I started my own because I'm an idiot, but it's true. It's the one thing I do wish also, before I started running, that there are similar sort of people out there like me, who I can connect with. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, as you said, it's your tribe, and I think it's something for the future going forward, that people out there at the moment that don't like running, or that aren't into running, or maybe they're considering it, that it's definitely something you should consider before you take it up. That it's a different world. There's a bigger world out there. It's a huge world of huge connections to be made, tribes, people. We had the Red Flag podcast doing recently, and people referring stuff to family, but a lot of people do refer to them as their family. They become so connected with each other and so close. We see it all the time. And these are people that meet and get married, people that have having families. It's incredible. And running, as we go back to that same old word that I know you absolutely love, especially when it's thrown around, it's that community. It's
marketing. It's the marketing gold mine that is the community. They love
running community, and that is something that everyone should be aware of before they start running. That there is, when people say, "Oh, it's the running community," it's not just a group of people that are just talking little bits and pieces about running. There's a whole new world out there of people that, as you said, there's always going to be someone either the same pace as you, who thinks the same way you do, same age as you, lives in the same area as you, goes to the same races. There's always someone there for you. Or there might be someone, I've got people I talk to on Instagram that I've never, ever met before. I would get on so well.
Do they love Strava? Are they Strava lovers?
Yeah, they follow me on Strava as well. They're always commenting. They love it. It's just a fact of, it's just that community. If you said to someone, but before you started running 7 or 8 years ago, I'm going to be talking to someone through a social media platform about running that I've never met before. I'm going to talk on a regular basis.
Oh, Hayden, I really what you said about on your run the other day. You did 5 miles and it was a really sunny day. Yeah, I spent hours putting that together on my Strava. Oh, yeah, I love Strava.
That's you. That's you. That's you.
That's
right.
Right. Okay. That sounded like Ken from the Barbie film, my role, but still. But no, it's true. There's a massive world out there. And is it something that I wish I knew before I started running? No, maybe I like the surprise. Maybe I like what it's brought to me. Maybe I like the fact that I wasn't going into that preconception thinking, oh, I'm going to find my tribe. I'm going to find new friends. I didn't expect that. And it came. So that has been a massive plus and probably one of the biggest things I've ever got out of running, if I'm honest with you. Definitely.
You know what? I actually think you've excelled tonight because I think you've turned. No,
it's the heat. It's the heat.
I've lost my mind singing songs, but you've made some really, genuinely, really good points there, and turned it round. Yeah, it's kind of interesting that, but it's so true. Look, I think the thing is when you set out, right, and yeah, we're probably appealing. Well, probably not appealing to anyone with this podcast, but. People who are just starting out again. The biggest message I want to give to you is just don't compare yourself to other people for Christ's sake, and don't rush it. I'm talking about just doing your runs as well. Don't rush it. You don't need to compete with everybody. You don't need to compete with yourself. You just take your time and ease into it and enjoy it. Yeah, and that's the thing. Just enjoy it. Right, big boy. That's it. I think we've done well tonight on this one, considering how hot it is. Remember, we've taken one for the team tonight, you lot. Leave us a nice review on Apple. Nothing nasty. It's got to be nice, especially about Hayden, because he's getting a bit down about the fact you keep leaving negative remarks about me. Because
I prefer good reviews on there. You can leave negative ones on my Strava if you want.
Yeah, just go and hammer him on Strava because he's a Strava lover. Okay, team, that's it from us. We shall see you on next week's episode, whatever it is. Christ knows what comes into my brain, but it will be out on the next week's podcast. So we shall see you all later.